You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor. This is a case of Eggleston versus Eggleston.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Ms. Eggleston, you and your identical twin sister state that the man who raised you recently shocked you when he announced that he is not your biological father. You've petitioned the court for a paternity test because you believe finances are motivating your alleged father's claims. Mr. Eggleston, your statement to the court counters that you know for sure that the plaintiff's father is a white man and you are not their biological dad. Now, Ms. Eggleston, how did you and your sister learn this news?
Okay, well, it all started about a year ago at his birthday party. And we overheard him speaking to some of our family members saying, y'all know these not my kids. That's what he was saying. We heard him. Now we was listening.
Na festa de aniversário dele, que ele estava fazendo esses comentários, que não era pai delas. Gente, pior que elas realmente são idênticas, né?
Saying to our family members, y'all know they're not my kids. I'm down here raising all these sins and nobody is helping. Okay. That's what he was explaining to the rest of our family members. But our family members didn't say anything back. Yeah, nobody said anything. It was just dry. But I'm thinking he's just speaking under the influence of alcohol.
Let me ask you this, ladies. Before this birthday party, before this happened, in your whole lives, there had never been any other mention. The subject never came up that this man potentially was not your biological father?
No, none whatsoever. We grew up when babies as him being our father. He would come visit us. He would take us out. He's been there. He's on our birth certificate. Yeah. He's our dad.
All right, Mr. Eggleston, I need to hear from you. Why is it that you believe you're not their father when...
Boa pergunta. Por que que ele acredita que não é o pai? E mais, por que que só agora, depois de 18 anos, né?
Sounds like to me you've raised them as your own.
Yes, I did. Knowing from the start that I knew they wasn't mine, but, you know, something overcame me that...
So let me get to the part. You knew their mother?
Yes, I did.
So how did that happen?
Well, I was coming home one day, and she was in the backyard barbecuing, and I noticed this big, beautiful smile, big breasts. And,
notice those, huh?
Yeah. And the big cheeseburgers on the grill.
Okay.
Made a date, you know. Eventually, we got together, and next thing you know, I'm living in her mama's basement, and not too soon after that, she's on the phone calling some guy out, and I'm telling him to send money. You know, I'm pregnant, and she's looking at me going like this. You know, and
so when she said, I'm pregnant, do you immediately think these may not be mine, or do you say that these are my children?
I said it to myself. I didn't want to say it to her, but I knew it all along.
And why did you doubt?
I don't know.
Ele ouviu ela falando que para outro homem que ela estava grávida. E ele imediatamente, tipo, não é meu filho, não são minhas filhas.
That's probably my thought frame back then, because, you know, maybe if I get in this relationship, it'll make my life better, it'll turn me around, you know.
Okay, so let's move forward to the birth of these two beautiful young ladies. Yes. You were there for the birth?
I was right there beside her.
So you were in the delivery room?
Yes, with my little mask on and doctor suit on.
Why? Why doubt?
When I seen them coming out, they was glowing.
They were glowing?
Yeah. Look how pale they was, and plus the gook on their body, you know, they were shining.
So when they were born, you say they were glowing because they were very pale.
Yeah.
Por conta da cor, olha isso.
Yes, and you know, I didn't have intentions on signing it, but, you know, I had the spirit come over me, you know, the little devil and the angel.
Oh, you got both of those?
Yeah.
Okay.
The devil said...
Anjinho e o diabinho. Gente.
You know they're not your kids, don't sign it. Then the angel said, they're going to need you.
No.
Don't turn your back on them.
So what's your point of saying you're not?
Why even tell us?
So why you sign
Because, you know, now I'm getting this mouth, I'm getting this, you know, tension.
It doesn't matter if you come as our mom.
I never speak to you again. I hate you. I'm the sorriest dad around.
Because you wasn't doing what you were supposed to do.
I'll give you allowance.
It's not about allowance. What school clothes did you buy? How did you take care of us? Can you
I'm a single parent. You know, I'm a single parent.
Okay,
you know.
Mr. Eggleston, how do you respond to their claims that they...
Gente, quantos pais solteiros aí, pai solteiro, mãe solteira, que cuidam dos filhos?
Their childhood was less than stellar because You were negligent.
I was never able to buy 2 pair of Nikes, 2 cell phones, 2 this, 2 this. You know,
You didn't buy anything.
Okay,
What about
okay.
a book
So
bag?
now I get punished. I get punished because I'm not money worthy. You know, to keep them happy. To keep them happy. It's all about money now. It's all about money now. If I cherish them with money, it'd be a whole new different ballgame.
Money.
So let me ask you this, ladies.
I'm cooking them dinner every day. I'm making sure they come home and do their homework, but that's not good enough.
We didn't have no structure. First of all, no structure at all. Me and my
I'm
sister
a
could do
single
what.
man. I'm a single man. You know, I got this responsibility now. I got
not
this.
trying to work.
Right, you know.
Friends over every day. We did it ourselves. Our basketball coach bought school supplies.
Exactly. Let me ask you this, ladies. Ladies, let me say this. Let me say this to you. I know this is emotional. I know it is. For both of you.
It just sucks, you know, because my mom, she's gone. So even if whatever the DNA test shows, we don't even have her side, you know?
When did you lose your mom?
When we were 8 years old in front of us. You know what I'm saying? It happened in front of us, but nobody never asked how we were doing. You know, he took us to Columbus, you know, away from.
A mãe faleceu quando elas tinham 8 anos. Teve um ataque do coração. Em casa, na frente delas, perto delas.
From our family, away from, you know, everything that we knew.
When your mom passed away, he did take you in.
Yes, and he took it. A year later, he took us. And before we left, my mom's mom told us he didn't want us till he found out he was going to be getting $900 a month. My grandma Ida, she said that he was not hollering about taking y'all to Columbus until he found out money was involved.
So he packed you all
and she told us
and
to
moved you
prepare
to
for that. She said, be aware. She said, be aware.
That is not true.
We have no reason to lie. We don't want none of this.
Okay, and so he takes you and you move to Columbus. And how was your childhood there? Tell me about that.
Me and him never got along. Like, me and him fought all the time. Thought this because we kids, what we say don't matter, and how we felt don't matter.
Ela não se dava muito bem com ele. Então, talvez por isso aí que começou também. Será? Que ela comentando que brigavam muito o tempo todo.
But it do.
I'll be the first to tell you that it's things I should have did different.
Why? Why now do you lean over this podium and say...
Essa também é a minha pergunta. Por que agora, depois de 18 anos? Por que não reclamou, não fez teste de DNA lá atrás? Gente, esperou 18 anos.
I'm not your daddy, but I am your daddy.
Because I'm fussed at and cussed at, and
you feel like they're disrespecting you now.
Yeah, I never speak to you again. You the sorriest dad in the world. I've been in their life for 18 years, 3 months, and 16 days.
Tá contando.
Exactly. Right. So,
18 years, 3 months, and 3 days. What more else I got to prove? What else I got to prove?
Let me have some order, because I've got to get to an important point. Mr. Eggleston, let me get something straight. You say that you know you're not the father, and you know that a white man is their father. Tell the court how you know this.
Well, we went to a doctor, and she got marks on her back, and the doctor questioned, you know.
She had some marks on her back.
Yeah, some scandals,
Okay.
And they questioned. First thing she come out the doctor, Daddy, you sure y'all got the wrong babies? You know, you didn't get the wrong babies? I said, okay.
Que ela tem uma condição na pele, né? Que tipo, não chega a ser uma doença, né? Mas que tipo assim, que geralmente aparece apenas em pessoas brancas. Mas, gente.
Again, you know, so I'm not the biological dad, okay?
So the doctor told you...
Basically, I had this skin condition on my back, which is called tinea versicolor. They saying that this is what I got, and it's only seen in Caucasians, but I had just said, forget what they said, I'm going to just figure out on my own. And I found out that the skin treatment is not just for... Caucasians.
Did you bring some of that research into court?
Isso não é só em pessoas brancas, não.
So in your mind, without expressing to them, your doubts are getting validated. Is that what I'm understanding?
They were validated from day one because when I met her mother, it's on her birthday. When is your mother's birthday?
August 4th.
Add 9 months to that.
You give it to the court?
7 months.
Okay. So the babies were born 7 months after you met.
Bom, mas já acontece, né? Tem casos de crianças que nascem com 7 meses, né? Tem.
Your mother. Okay. Let me bring your witness.
Mas aí pro caso dele também, né? E acaba que ele já tá ficando, segundo ele, né? Já tá tendo tirando muitas conclusões, muitas validações desde o primeiro dia, né?
This up, ladies. Please approach the podium. Please state your name.
My name is Deshana.
Hello,
Hi.
Miss Deshana
Johnson.
Johnson. Miss Johnson. Let me
Miss
first ask
Johnson.
you what your relationship is too.
These are my second cousins. Their mother is my first cousin.
Okay.
Ah, tá, é
She was
prima.
10 years older
Prima da
than
mãe.
me, but I was 10, and you kind of look up to them, you know, the makeup, all that kind
Yeah,
of
like
stuff.
sisters.
So,
You
right,
were
so
like
we
the younger
got,
sister.
and I'm an only child, so that's how it was. But he's
viviam
talking
como
about
irmãs, né?
a white man that actually, I don't know how to word it, but I want to say he was like her John. He didn't care if she was pregnant. He would have sent her money just because that's what they do.
Então, realmente tinha homem branco na história.
That's what they do. That was his
Wow.
purpose of being there. And she didn't just call once. He sent money often.
Exactly.
Before she got pregnant, he was sending money.
So what you're saying is their mom did have a relationship with a white man
Yes,
that
ma'am.
she knew and
Yeah.
she had a relationship with.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Eggleston, do you know who this man, Miss Johnson, is referring to is?
As far as I'm concerned, it was her sugar daddy.
Mr. Eggleston, did anybody ever tell you specifically that these young girls are not your children because
No.
a white man
No,
is their father?
I'm just putting two and two together. Like I say, all I can remember is the
So this
phone
is
call.
you speculating
Yeah,
based upon...
yeah.
Foi juntando os fatos, juntando aqui e ali as conversas, o telefonema,
Okay.
Now,
o
the
dinheiro.
only person that could even say anything that could give us any doubt that he's not the father was a friend of my mom.
Okay.
And she said that my mom told her directly that he was not the father.
Right.
When you got that
Então-
information from the family friend, did you share it with
No.
your dad?
No.
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 So let me get a little further into these issues. Mr. Eggleston, your mother, she was unable to make it to court today, so she sent a video statement in.
Oh, vídeo
I'd
da
like
mãe
to
dele.
play that statement, please.
Rightly say he's not the father. After 18 years, he should have said this from the very beginning when the first month when Sophia died. That's what he should have said when the twins were born. He should have said they weren't his, but he didn't. And I don't want Rodney to tell me ever again that he's not the father.
And that's true.
Eu concordo, e eu concordo com ela, gente. Por que esperar esse tempo todo? Esperou até agora, então.
And that's his own mom.
Ele é pai.
That's what we have to
Let
go
them
through
speak.
every day. That's his own mom, my own grandmother. You know, he brought this to our attention off of something that he thought. When we was little babies, if you thought that we wasn't yours, then that's when you take us somewhere and you get that done and you keep that to
don't wait
yourself.
till we grow
Period.
up.
This is our only family that
They
we
never
know.
had to know.
Ladies, first of all, I need to say that your mother is a beautiful lady.
Thank
and
you.
I know regardless of what has happened, she is proud of you all
Ah,
for
com
seeking out
certeza.
your own truth and for wanting to understand and being brave
Difícil.
enough to ask the questions and find the answers to things that some people don't have the strength to do.
We found a journal of his. He don't know we read it, but we found a journal. And basically, I understand that this is something that he been fighting with himself and it's starting to hit him. So it's like... So then that makes us figure, okay, then now we understand why you treated us like we was always...
it's something that he hid from us. Like stepchildren and
Exactly. You
stuff.
would think...
Elas acharam um diário dele, onde ele colocava lá os detalhes de que ele acha, das suspeitas dele, né?
Fighting with.
What did it say
In
specifically?
the journal, basically, a major part of the journal was about us, and he labeled it his secret. He was saying, you know, he was in detail saying they came out and I seen them. He said that I felt something came over my body saying, you know, I'm gonna be in these kids' life. They're gonna need me one day.
Yep.
He said that I had to step up and be a father. It's like he was talking
Is
to
this true,
himself.
Mr. Eggleston?
Yes.
And
But
it's
now I see
okay
now
if you
I shouldn't
do
have did
we can
that.
play
Like I said, I should have
role.
left up out of there. They hurt and stuff. That maybe I should, you know.
But listen,
is that what they wanted?
listen to me. You have to understand, you speak out of frustration, but you've got to understand that those
There's
words are
always
daggers
kids
in their
listening.
hearts.
Exactly.
You get frustrated and you say something,
Yes.
but it affects how they feel
okay.
about who they
That's
are.
the issues I
And
have. I took after my dad, you know, mouthy, you know, a lot of things I don't think
you
before
get-
I talk.
before you speak.
You know, I got a bad habit of that.
I think at this point, we're ready to learn the results.
Yes,
Oh
ma'am.
my.
Now, whether the results say he is your father or he isn't, this court wants to understand what you want going forward.
You know, I have always had that daddy's little girl mentality.
Yeah.
You know, coming from my point of view, I want him to be the dad, you know, because it didn't matter what he did, how I felt, how she felt. I always knew that I'm gonna be daddy's little girl. You know, I'm always gonna cover from him, you know, but at the same time.
And that's the thing, he has that over her.
Yeah.
É porque, assim, pai é quem cria, né? E com todas as dificuldades, com tudo, aí ele tava lá, né?
I feel like if you're my dad, you still should have did better. If you're not my dad, then you should have kept your did
Mr.
better.
Eggleston, I see you becoming emotional right now.
Pai é quem cria.
That was a big step.
And this is an opportunity for you to not speak out of anger and for you to speak from your heart, because I see you're very emotional. What do you feel now?
I'm going to always love them. Whether,
Right.
however I
That's
show
what
it,
they
however I
are.
feel it, you know, they are part of me.
So,
18 anos.
with that said, Jerome, please pass me the results.
Oh. Melhor que ele seja o pai.
When it comes to whether Mr. Rodney Eggleston is the
Rosa aqui.
father of Antonia and Rodnea Eggleston, Mr. Eggleston, you are their father.
Que isso, quanta emoção.
I was there. Not when conceived, but I was there. You know.
Eu sabia. Ai, no fundo, estava todo mundo querendo isso.
All this time,
Nossa.
look just like him, look at the head. I'm like,
Mas
what
ela
the
ficou
head?
muito contente, não.
All
So
this head.
basically, you know,
It's
like
a waste
we've been
of time. It's
telling him,
a
he made up in his
Whole time.
mind.
Okay. I have to say something to you guys. We all wish we could rewind the
Yes, ma'am.
past
Yes,
and
ma'am.
make every wrong right,
Right.
but we can't.
I told you.
We can't do it.
Cannot. No, ma'am. You're
But
absolutely
the
right.
beauty and the blessing of it all is that we have today.
All right.
Right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And what
Thank
I
you.
saw
Thank
as
you.
soon as that result came in, I didn't see a beat in hesitation, and that man walked from that podium straight over to his daughter.
Yes,
Isso é
he did.
verdade.
Sometimes the love is in the little things. Sometimes he might not get the school nights right. He might not show up to all the games. He might not be able to get the book bag.
Exactly.
He's a human being that's gotten it very wrong.
Como
and
muitos
sometimes
outros.
people can only do better when they know better.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're absolutely
I'm looking
right.
at you, Mr. Eggleston. You probably, can we really keep it real, weren't the father that you hoped you were going to be to the kids, but you were making it up as you go along,
Yeah.
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So in some ways, you do owe them an apology
Of course I do.
for a lot of
Sim,
what
sim.
happened when they were growing up.
Exactly.
Porque foram
Rodney,
18 anos.
I'm sorry. I could have been a better dad.
É, exatamente. Podia ter sido
but
pai
I'm
melhor.
always here for you. I am your daddy for real now.
Agora é pai de verdade.
Everything's different, you know. We're gonna be all right.
Be all right. Yes, ma'am. We gonna be all right.
You know, this is one of these days where the court really feels overjoyed.
Thank you.
Tá muito contente, não.
And yes, we've got Daddy and his little girls. I wish you guys a beautiful, long, happy life together.
Thank you.
And I want you to learn to love each other, but also to forgive each other. Court is adjourned.